I will be giving away $200 Amazon gift cards when this channel reaches 30,000 subscribers. All you have to do to enter is drop a like on this video, be subscribed to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any uploads. And in the comment section, let me know why you want to win the $200 Amazon gift card and include your Twitter handle. The winner will be announced once the channel reaches 30,000 subscribers. What's up, Anchor Squad? It is your boy Janker bringing y'all back at again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 things needed for the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. So if you guys have not noticed already, the 2021 movie has been confirmed for a sequel, according to the producer and director of the first film. And I noticed that the new writer is going to be Slayer. So the guy that wrote the Moon Knight excuse me, he wrote Moon Knight. So he's been doing a lot of big things. He's not a new writer, so he's been writing a couple things, especially for Marvel, which is good because the writing for the first film, as you guys know, wasn't all that great. So but we're about to dive right into this video. But before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you do not miss any of my videos. All right, so let's get right into it. Number 10. So Cole either has to die or he has to have a better connection with the main characters and have a better costume, because as you guys know, the costume that Cole had was not great. It pretty much was plot armor, you know, as he was fighting Goro, and every time Goro hit him, he was building up, you know, powers or kinetic energy, just like how Black Panther does when he's fighting, and with what his suit has. So it was kind of like a copycat from that. I feel as though if they, you know, go back to the drawing board with Cole and have him have a costume that resembles something like Scorpion or something. It could be, you know, black and yellow, black and gold. It could have more black in it and have a mask or something. Or he could even be Takeda. You know, they can switch things up. Takeda is a new character from MKX. You know, they can switch things up. I'm pretty sure if it turned out that, oh, Cole is actually Takeda, for however they want to write it, fans will still be happy. I mean, the people don't like the fact that they just, you know, just put Cole in there just so that way they can have someone to, you know, carry on the story. But doing that, you know, it kind of took away from the actual Mortal Kombat characters like Liu Kang, Kano, Sonya Blade, Jax. They could have used any of those characters to carry on with the story, just like how the first Mortal Kombat movie from 1995 did. They had Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, Raiden. Like that film was great, just the way it was. And the fact that they wanted to, you know, do that drastic change, it put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. They're like, who is this Cole guy? He's not even in the games. Now I'm speculating that Cole could be put in a future game, or the movie skins from the 2021 could be put in like, you know, Mortal Kombat 12 or something like that. I just been hearing rumors about that, and I wouldn't be too mad about that if they did that, because they put the 1995 skins in Mortal Kombat 11, so they're gonna probably show some love to the 2021, you know, characters. So that'd be good. Number 9. They need to have more Mortal Kombat locations. I know they had the pit, but you know, nobody got knocked off the pit during it, so it was just kind of like a, you know, fan service to, oh, here's the pit, but we're not really gonna do anything with it. So the pit had Jax and Raiko in it. That was like, it was random characters just placed into that location. And you know, they did what they did, but you know, that's one location. Another location, you know, so they had Outworld itself, which was good. I like how the Outworld looked. They could expand more on it, but they need to have something like, you know, the Deadpool, the acid pool location. That's a very iconic location. That happened what, in Mortal Kombat 2, and you, like, you know, pop them in the air, they come down, they land in the acid like that. and then they remade it again in Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 or something like that. One of these current Mortal Kombat games got it too, and it looks awesome. So they need to implement a storyline in that and fighting in that. Another thing is the armory and the soul chamber. So if I had to pick, if I had to choose one of these three, I would pick the soul chamber, because the soul chamber is where, you know, it's like, you know, souls roaming around in the room, and they have this little statue thing with the mouth open with the green little souls going through, like that it's just iconic the way it looks. I think it first came out in Mortal Kombat 3, and then it again in Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, and they remade it a couple times. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know that soul chamber location, that thing, especially the music that comes behind it, the background music for that, y'all know that stage is on point, and it's you ready to fight when you in there. you gonna end up fighting like Shang Tsung or Quan Chi, or somebody gonna come out of somewhere, and you just want to knock them out. Number 8, Liu Kang has to be the main character, and he has to fight Shang Tsung, you know, as like the last battle or something, just like how in the 1995 one was. Like Liu Kang was the main focus of the film for the 1995 film, when his brother died from Shang Tsung. So Mortal Kombat 2021 kind of sets it up kind of like that, because Kung Lao died at the hands of Shang Tsung, so they can use that for Liu Kang to seek vengeance on Kung Lao by fighting Shang Tsung. And I could see, like, in a fight, Shang Tsung could transform into Liu Kang to try to play mind game. Oh no, excuse me. Shang Tsung could transform into Kung Lao to play mind games with Liu Kang. Just like how in the 1995 film he transformed into Liu Kang's brother to play mind games. But Liu Kang wasn't having none of that. But just the fact you can see that scene, just seeing that scene just brings that nostalgic element back from the old film. And it'd be great if it turns out like that. So for number 7, I want to see fighting scenes from Shang Tsung and Raiden, whether they're fighting each other or they just fighting other characters. In the 2021 film, there was really no fighting from Shang Tsung or Raiden. They just, you know, used their powers to either knock somebody off or take a soul or something. It was like these onesie twosie scenes. I want to see them like actually fight. You know, I think that'd be very, very, very cool to see them fight, whether it's against each other or against other characters. And they need to have like better costumes for Shang Tsung and Raiden. So I want to see something that's closer to the games, because the costume they had was kind of throwing me off a little bit, but I know they could do better. Number 6, they have to open up the movie just like how the MK 1995 movie opening was. There's plenty of fan-made versions of that, and I'll play some right here, like in the background, and you can see that these fan versions are awesome. I'm like, why didn't they start it off like that? I could see why they didn't, because they wanted to start off with the story mode, with, you know, the Hanzo compound, and, you know, having that hype music wouldn't kind of, you know, connect with that in a way. I mean, you could still do it if they did it like that. You know, people wouldn't be mad. People was kind of expecting it. The whole Mortal Kombat, and you got the dragon, the camera panning around the dragon, and the fire coming up like that get you hype. You'd be extra hype. But it's kind of, you know, different if it's hyped like that, but then the first scene is Hanzo Sashi's wife picking, you know, using the kunai to, you know, plant and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't connect that great if it was like that. Because in the first film they did it, and it went right into a fight between Liu Kang's brother and Shang Tsung. So it kind of, that connects. And then in Annihilation, this is probably the only time I'm gonna mention Annihilation, because we don't want to talk too much about that. In Annihilation, the first scene was, you know, Shao Kahn came into appearance and everything, so it hyped up for that, you know. So I can understand why they didn't do it for the 2021 film, but they can do it for the next one because they can hype it up with that intro, and they can do like a you know, a fight between Goro and the great Kung Lao, like the first Kung Lao, and how he got defeated by Goro, and they can have like a brutal fatality, and that can mark the, you know, the first tournament or something. I can see that happening. They can show what happened to the great Kung Lao, and yeah, that'll get me pumped up. If it started off with that intro like that, and then the great Kung Lao fighting Goro, and it shows like the pre-stages of the tournaments and how things got started, that'd be great. That'd be great. I could see that happen. If Slayer does some great writing, I could see that implemented, and a lot of people will be very, very pleased if it starts off like that. Number 5, they gotta have more characters. So you know you're gonna get Noob Saibot, you know you're gonna get Katana, you know you're gonna get Johnny Cage at least, because they were all teased in the first film. Other people that I want to see are Bo Raicho, because Liu Kang talked about it in his backstory when he was talking to Cole Young, Quan Chi, Jade, and then they could bring back Melina, because you know Melina's a clone, and Shang Tsung / Shao Kahn, they got multiple clones of Melina. If you saw the Mortal Kombat 9 cutscenes, you can see that they had different Melinas in the little water chamber things. And you know, just because one got killed doesn't mean that there aren't like 10, 20, 30 more Melinas roaming around. Just like how it could be 10, 20, 30 Barakas, you know, because you guys played Shaolin Monks, right? There was a bunch of Baraka enemies and this and that ninja, so there's always different versions of different characters. and you can always have Shang Tsung or Quan Chi bring people back from the dead, or Shinnok if they ever bring them in. And I also want to see Smoke. I don't know who I would want to play Smoke, but I think Smoke would be a good character. Oh, and Rain, because I was informed that they did not use Rain because he has some elements that resemble Reptile, and they have a whole, you know, spiel on why they didn't use Rain. You can go look that up on Screen Rant or something like that, but they have a good point. But now they gotta bring him in. Now they gotta bring him in. I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that played Ong Bak, I want him to play Rain. I don't know if they have like a height, you know, height standard or whatever, but I know he played in Ong Bak. I know he played in the current Monster Hunter film, and in a couple other fighting films. But I'll make sure I post an image of him on the screen so you can remember yourself. I forgot his name. Oh, Tony Jaa, that's his name. Tony Jaa, my bad. Tony Jaa. See, I just remembered. I just remembered. I want him to play Rain because he has good martial arts skills. I just want to see him in more films. You know, I don't think he gets a lot of love. I know him from Ong Bak and The Protector, Monster Hunter. I want to just see him in more films. I know my oldest brother, he's a big fan of Tony Jaa, for real. So, and I know he'll be pleased to see him in Mortal Kombat, whether he's Rain or Smoke or whatever, you know. Number 4, they need to have more bloody fatalities, just like Kung Lao's bust off like fatality. Like when that fatality occurred, a lot of people were in shock. Like, really, they showed this fatality in the movies? They need to have more fatalities like that, like something like brutal. I know Jax had, you know, something brutal. Kung Lao had something brutal, but the other ones weren't as brutal, but they were still fine. They were still actual fatalities, but they need to have some brutal fatalities / brutalities, or whatever you want to call it, and it will shock a lot more people. And they will be so happy and clapping, because they was clapping when they saw their fatality from Kung Lao. I was like, what is this? What's going on? But yeah, they need to have some more bloody type of fatalities. Number 3, the movie needs to be much longer. All right, none of this under 2-hour films. You need to have like 2 hour 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Heck, you can even do a part 1, part 2 if you need to, but we need to have a longer Mortal Kombat movie for real, because a lot of people, they want you to dive right into the story. You can introduce the Adenians, you can introduce like different elements and how things lead up. I know in the 2021 film, when they walk into Raiden's temple, on the walls you can see I think it's called the Kamidogus. If you play Mortal Kombat Deception Conquest mode, you know what I'm talking about. Is those emblems that you collect when you go to the different worlds, and you was playing as Shujinko and this and that. Like they need to expand on that story, whether it's in this film or the film after this film, because I'm hoping that it does well, so that way it can have continuous films and TV series and things like that. Make a Shaolin Monks TV series or something, but it needs to be longer. So two and a half hour movie, 2 hour 15 minute movie, or like a part 1, part 2 type. For number 2, you have to have a great actor / martial artist to play Johnny Cage. If you're going for like, you know, star power, you can, and you can have like stunt doubles to do the martial arts stuff. You know how Hollywood is. They want to make that money, so they're gonna do it however, what's the best way possible. So Ryan Reynolds, that's a good choice. I know he's done a couple of his own stunts, especially when he was doing like Deadpool in both the Deadpool movie and in the X-Men Wolverine movie. He did some stunts in Blade Trinity and some other films. But Ryan Reynolds, if you're trying to go for star power, you want like Ryan Reynolds, you want Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, and then you can go into like, you know, martial artists like Scott Adkins, Alan Moosey, and then I know The Miz wants to play him. I know Zac Efron wants to play him. Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam, wants to play him. Dacker Montgomery, that's the guy that from Stranger Things, and he also played Jason from the 2017 Power Rangers film, which is fine. Like they're all decent. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of Zac Efron being Johnny Cage, because every time I think of Zac Efron, I'm thinking about, you know, High School Musical. Like any film he's in, I'm thinking about High School Musical. When he was in Baywatch and I saw him, I was thinking about High School Musical. So I don't know how that'll work if he's in it. But you guys let me know who you want to play Johnny Cage. And then the number 1 thing, it has to have better fight sequences. None of this jump cut stuff. You know, the fight sequences kind of reminded me of the Resident Evil final chapter with Mila Jovovich. Like those cutscenes, like every time they were fighting, it was like clip, 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 clip. You couldn't see nothing, and that kind of reminded me like that. I'm like, just show me full fighting sequences, and it would be a better movie. Just teach them how to fight, do some fight choreography practices, and you'll have a better Mortal Kombat film. I've seen a couple concept fight sequences way better than some of the fighting scenes that we got in Mortal Kombat. I think the best fighting scenes in the 2021 film were with Hanzo Hasashi and, you know, Sub-Zero, or Hanzo Hasashi and Bihan, and then Scorpion Sub-Zero at the end. Those were like the best 2 fighting sequences, to be honest. You know, like those are the best 2. They have a good one at the beginning and a good one at the end, and everything else was trash. But yeah, like they need to have full fighting sequences. You know, and one thing that could help that is if they, like how Shang said, he's gonna bring armies. So if you have like armies of Barakas or just regular ninjas fighting that they could just kill off or defeat, like in the 1995 film where they had just random ninjas, random people with you know, forks and knives and swords and stuff that they could just kill off. that'll be better. Like that, you know, you don't have to have a main character versus a main character. You could have soldiers and ninjas and creatures, minions that can be used for killing off, you know? So yeah, like overall, these are my top 10 things that the sequel needs to have to be great, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna kill it. As you can see, the video game movie industry is getting better and better. If you haven't seen the second Sonic film, you need to go check that out, because that right there is like one of the best, or the best video game film adaptations of all time, pretty much. First it was Sonic, now Sonic 2, like yeah, and then Sonic 3 is already confirmed. So we just Mortal Kombat, just use the elements and do better, and you'll be successful, you know. I know the film grossed over like 85 million in the movie theaters because of the pandemic, but it's #1 on HBO Max, so it still beat out the Batman for views on HBO Max. So that's still a good milestone to have. And we'll just see what happens with Mortal Kombat, the sequel, when it comes out, Mortal Kombat 2. And man, for real, the intro for that, it needs to be that Mortal Kombat. It can have a remix to it, but it has to have that panning around the dragon with the flames coming out. You gotta have that. You gotta have that. If they don't start the movie off like that, I'm already gonna be upset. I'm already gonna be in a bad mood. And it's gonna be tough to get me back in the right mood. For them to counter that, they gotta have good fighting sequences to counter that. But if it don't start off like that, everybody gonna be like, what the heck is this, man, for real? But man, if y'all like my video to this, post your comments down below, like and share with all your friends, subscribe to the channel for more reaction videos. Make sure y'all give the video a thumbs up. J Anchor 100 down for 100,000 subscribers, and J Anchor is out.